Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today I have an unboxing for you. Like the title says, it is not a ball python. That means what is it? Well, let's go ahead and find out, but you know what, before we do that, I do want to tell you after this, we're going to go over to Patreon, and on Patreon, we're going to show you another new animal we're acquiring. So today we're acquiring two animals. YouTube, you get to see one. Patreon, you get to see the other one. The other one is also not a ball python, and it has legs. So let's go ahead and cut this box, get this thing opened up, right? Ooh. Oh, you know what though, before we go much further, I also wanted to kind of talk about shipping things. So it's a little bit cold, but they packaged it really nice. It's well heated, you know, and we actually had a warm day, so we were able to get it, which is great. So I'm really excited. We didn't have to wait very long. It looks like it's packaged great. The reaction or the interaction with the seller was wonderful, which was Keith Bultmeyer, I want to say that right. It's SBK Reptiles. We actually bought this off Morph Market. We have bought a few things off there. Just do your research, make sure it's a legit person. Reviews are good. This is a guy I would trust because, you know, I always also recommend reach out to somebody before you buy a snake. Don't just click sold. Talk to them, have a conversation, make sure they're legit. If anything gives you the heebie-jeebies, man, dip out of that. With him, everything went smooth from conversation. Questions were answered right away. He knew what he was talking about. I felt good. And this was our first transaction. And so far, I couldn't be happier. Of course, I'm not in the box yet, so let's go ahead and, quit wasting time and get into this box. But you know, I also wanted to know, how are you guys enjoying those polls we've been putting up? See, we're trying to get our name out there a little more and do a few more things and get back in the algorithm and start winning on that. So we're told that doing these polls is very, very helpful. So we've been trying that. Seemed to be good response, but I also want to know what you guys think. And believe it or not, those polls actually help direct us in how we do things. So we're going to listen to your comments, listen to what you say. We're going to do some polls just for fun, like the underwear poll, but other stuff is going to direct us in how we make these videos and maybe kind of tell us what you guys like and go from there. So let's keep opening this box, shall we? Oh, it's one side open. That's another side open. Okay, look at that. Flaps are there. I'm going to put this down before I cut myself. And again, SKB. I think I might have said SBK, but it's SKB. I want to give that a little quick shout out. That's where we got it from. So if this is good, then buy from him. If this is not good, then don't. But I'm sure it's going to be just fine. So that is who we went through. Okay, let's go ahead and get this off of here. You know what, let's have some fun with it and throw stuff all around. Heat pack on top, good wrapping paper. Oh, that wrapping paper feels kind of nice and warm. I think things are going to be good. But before we take this snake out, I want to tell you something else. I want to prove a concept to you, right? I just told you guys those polls are going to dictate to us how we do things. And the last poll question, currently it's still ongoing, told me you want me to make videos 3 to 10 minutes long. So therefore, this is a YouTube trick. I know it's really annoying. Oh yeah, sorry, 10 to 20 minutes long. Not 3 to 10, 10 to 20 minutes long. So, and this is a YouTube trick. See, I could have just opened this box and shown you what was in it. And I know a lot of you are probably clicking 10 seconds forward because I would be, and I'd be saying, what a, well, I did it. And I get that if you are, I don't blame you one bit. But we kind of kept delaying to get to the end, hopefully keeping you guys watching for a little while because that helps. So if you really want me to make videos that are 10 to 20 minutes long, then I need you watching about 14 minutes of it, okay? If you don't want to do that, click to make it shorter and I'll make it shorter. You don't have to watch as much. I'm sure most people watching are probably watching me while they poop. That's right. I get famous, so you take a Duke. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So I don't want to show you the label. Oh man, looks like it was born on September of 20, so not too old. He does zip ties. Actually, he uses a fancier zip tie than I use. But, oh, is that what that's made for? Man, how did I get some of these in my life? Yeah, I was just going to spin. Yeah. Oh, nope, it worked. That's really nice. See, I learned something when I buy from other people. I got to get some of these for my next round of zip ties because that is a lot easier to get into. Holy shit. This thing looks really good. Now, do not bite me, sweetheart. I shouldn't say sweetheart. I should say stud muffin. It is a boy. So here we go. Check that out, guys. That thing is awesome. So what we have here, I had a little hook because with boas I never know. A lot of you don't know we are working on breeding boas. It's slow going. As you can see the label right here on the bag. I like when people do that too. You're thinking about popping me now, don't do it. So it's a hypo jungle, 100% het for snow. So what that really means is since it's hypo and you're het for snow, it's a call line albino. It's also het for anery, I do believe. And being a hypo, it's het moonglow is what we bought this for. So we do have breeding plans. I have a note sheet with me because, believe it or not, the boas are not at my house. So this snake is actually going to go to camera guy Kurt's house. Dude, you're lucky. This thing's pretty. I might just put it in my pocket. But I don't keep my boas and my pythons because when I was first coming up, IBD was a boogeyman. Now it's nidovirus. But with that, I've always been afraid of IBD. IBD can be carried in boas much easier than in pythons. It can infect a python collection and wipe it out. Whereas in boas, they don't seem to care. So I don't ever keep my boas and my pythons together. So that's why our boas are at Kurt's house. What we have to put this to is we have 2 females that we're raising up that are about ready to go. One of them I think is. Actually, we have 3 females. We have a normal female too that we rescued, if you remember way back in the day. She's a big girl now, but she's just a straight up normal that literally we rescued out of the basement of a house. And then we have a hypo female that's het for anery and het for call albino. And we also have a call albino that's het for anery. This will have all those same genes, plus it has a jungle gene. So it's going to allow us to make a lot of things, a lot of different genetic combos, but nothing too crazy. I mean, we should be able to pick apart the difference between an albino and an anery, I think, and a moonglow looks pretty specific. So hopefully we'll be able to tell what we're doing. And that's one thing when you get into a new project, you know, you want to have some things that you can tell the difference on. Let me see if I can't get this thing to kind of warm up and maybe come out a little bit. Oh man, look at that tail. There you go, little one. The other thing is it's really nice and healthy. It's got good size to it. I love the paint coloration in here. Just looks good. Yeah, I know you are. You got the head cocked. I see you. I ain't going to hurt you, little guy. All right, well, that's all we got to share with you, but I am going to move this just so if you do strike at something, you don't hit a razor blade. Kurt, any questions?
What would you feed something like that?
So I'd really feed these just about when they're this age, like my ball pythons. I mean, you wouldn't want to go anything really too much bigger around than it. You can stretch a boa some. You are fine, Turbo. So, I mean, I'd probably go with like maybe a rat that's just starting to get some fuzz on it. Yeah, look at this thing. It's going to turn to the devil here any second. Me and boas, I tell you. Oh, lighting error. Sometimes that happens. Actually, it's because we have a viewing gallery that bumped a light switch. But I wouldn't go much bigger than that right now, and I'd probably feed it pretty consistent with like I do my ball pythons. But as they get some size, little age, I'd actually slow that food intake down for these. Kind of like our blood pythons. We've slowed them down to once a month now because they've got size. I don't want them to get fat. They'd eat every week and do it happily, but there's really no need to do that. So that's kind of what I would do here. Also being male, it's never going to get as big as our females, and it shouldn't. But yeah, I'd probably go with something just getting a little bit of fuzz. But you do more boa feeding. Kurt, what would you go with?
Yeah, probably a fuzzy rat.
What about a mouse? Would you do a mouse here?
An adult.
Yeah, about an adult mouse would work too. So either one of those could rock. I don't think you have as hard of a time getting boas to eat as you do ball pythons. Typically, they're usually pretty good feeders. And there's a difference. My first snake was a boa, so I have a soft spot for these guys. Boas' bodies are different than ball python bodies. They're very strong, very muscular, not as much fat on them, not as chunky, and I think they coil a lot stronger than a ball python does. When they hit things and they wrap it, I mean, it is with a vengeance, which is pretty cool. All right, well, that's all I got, unless you got any more questions?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.